Doom 64 was originally developed and published by Midway Games while being overseen by id Software, and was released on the Nintendo 64 in April of 1997. It was re-released on March 20th, 2020 for the PC, PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, and the Xbox One by developer Night Dive Studios, and was published by Bethesda Softworks. I know everyone and their brother has reviewed Doom Eternal by now, so I figured I would review this lesser-known Doom game instead. Doom 64's roots are tied to how Doom and Doom 2 are set up, with the starting areas being in research installations where demons have come back to life within them, and then later the battle is taken to Hell, where the majority of the game takes place. There are 40 maps in total, with a whole set of maps being new and exclusive to the re-release. So, is Doom 64 any good? Is it aged well? Well, let's find out. Doom 64's first 8 maps take place within the research installations of the UAC, and they need to be cleansed of the demons that seem to be infesting them. The Doom guy who survived the first 2 Doom games is sent back in to do the job since he was the only one to make it through the whole ordeal the first time. The installations are complex mazes filled with plenty of items, weapons, demons, and secrets. Where the game really shines though is its Hell maps. These are much tougher than the opening maps, and are full of much more dangerous demons and traps. And oh boy, are there plenty of traps. Parts of the levels can shift instantly, and sometimes this is awesome, and other times it can be complete hell. Thankfully, there are tons of health and armor pickups scattered throughout the game, so this makes things a bit easier. They also didn't skimp on the ammo and weapon pickups either. Speaking of pickups, the classic ones like the Supercharge, Invisibility, and Invincibility all return, and the Supercharge always seemed to pop up in places when I needed it the most, even though a lot of times picking it up meant I had to deal with yet another trap. The Hell stages are visually nice to look at, with the sky usually looking like it's on fire, and the maps themselves being set in castles. I really like the design of most of these maps, even though they can take a lot of running around at times to figure out where to go next. All of the badass weapons from Doom 2 return: the chainsaw, fists, pistol, shotgun, super shotgun, chain gun, rocket launcher, plasma rifle, BFG 9000, and even a new toy, the Unmaker. This thing starts off a bit weak, but demon keys can be collected to make it insanely powerful. The super shotgun was my go-to for most of the game, and when it wasn't cutting it, I used the rocket launcher. I pretty much always had a backpack full of rockets. If the developers had made ammo scarce, this game would have been really scary. A lot of the demons from early games in the series make a return. You've got former human sergeants, imps, lost souls, cacodemons, pinky demons, hell knights, barons of hell, pain elementals, arachnotrons, specters, cyber demons, and even the mancubus are all back in heavy numbers. They even have a new friend, the nightmare imp, which is a faster version of the imp that can throw a much faster fireball than the standard imps. I will say though that I wish the game developers didn't have such a hard-on for putting the lost souls everywhere, because these bastards are annoying as ever. They are super fast and hit extremely hard. Demons can also spawn in from out of nowhere and will do so often. This keeps the intensity up, and strafing around fireballs, rockets, and plasma shots is something you'll have to do very often. Controls in Doom 64 are super simple. Doom Guy can open doors, shoot, run, and switch weapons. There's also a map that can be used, but I got through the game just fine with never even having to pull it up. Running makes Doom Guy super fast, and this helps when used in conjunction with strafing so he dodges faster. The controls felt quick and responsive, so I have no complaints about anything in this category at all. The graphics are much cleaner than the Nintendo 64 version to say the least, and offer a lot more options such as high resolutions, extremely high frame rates, anti-aliasing, and a slider for increasing the FOV. I do wish the FOV slider had a number with it though, because I wanted to go back to a setting I was using after changing it for a second, and I couldn't remember exactly where I had it. The enemies and weapons are sprites, and now I have completely new models than the older games. I don't like the look of most of these better than the originals, except I really dig how the pinky demons look, but I still think most of them look really good. The game runs extremely smoothly, and I didn't have any crashes or issues getting the game to run. Another great thing about this game's graphics are the lighting effects. The uses of blues, reds, yellows, purples, and greens really look good and make the game's colors stand out. My only other gripe with the graphics is that I wish it had more animations for the weapons, because seeing the super shotgun not get reloaded is just strange. The sounds and music are really good in the game. The music was done by Aubrey Hodges, who did the soundtrack for the PlayStation version of Doom, and it has a much more ambient feel than the original stuff composed by Bobby Prince. It can be creepy at times because I would sometimes forget about the game having a soundtrack at all, and then some of the music would catch me off guard with some of the weird noises it would make. It was quite effective. So, do I recommend Doom 64? Hell yes, I do. I completed the game 100% in about 12 hours, and it was fun the entire time I was playing it. It really took me back to the days when I used to play this on the Nintendo 64, but the quality of life improvements with higher resolution and the ability to play with keyboard and mouse really helped make the experience solid. This game really deserves more appreciation, and I hope with this new release it gets it. Plus the game's only $5, so I have to say it's totally worth the money. So if you like the first Doom titles and haven't played this, totally snag it.